Good morning, everybody.
Hi.
Rick says hi, Batman says hi, and I say hi. It is Sunday, July 7th, 2019, and these are your morning announcements. So I hung out last night in One Love's room on Chad, and I had a blast. We were singing. It was very fun. Listening to 80s music, 70s and 80s music, and singing along. It was a blast. Singing Casey and the Sunshine Band, and we were singing, who sings? Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain cramp. The Bee Gees, we were singing the Bee Gees, Duran Duran, Pat Benatar, just we were going down the list. It was fun. The Go-Go's, oh my gosh, the Go-Go's, I love the Go-Go's. So, yeah, it was fun. It was fun, that was a good time. I'd like to do that again very soon. And I think that we should do like a Google Hangouts where there's several of us on camera together. I think that would be ridiculously funny. So we should think about doing that. And Lisa One Love, you live in Wisconsin, which blows my mind. She lives in Port Washington. And she grew up in New Berlin, I guess. So I'm like, what a freaking small world, man. So she's going up to the Upper Peninsula, and I guess she won't be back until like September or something like that. So, but when you come back, we're gonna have to like do a girls' night out, you, me, and Chrissy, and go do something. I think that would be really fun. What else is going on? Oh, do you guys watch, there's a YouTuber, his name is Bald and Bankrupt. And, oh, everybody hang on, oh my God, earthquake, 911, 911. I don't understand why this happens. Sitting there so nicely, and then all of a sudden, bam, everybody falls down. Well, now we're really crooked. Oh my gosh. That might be a little loud, Mr. Hug, for my video. I'm sorry. We finally have a nice day, which is why Rick wants to have the windows open. I don't blame him. I was watching Bald and Bankrupt, and if you guys have never watched Bald and Bankrupt's channel, go check it out. Go watch the latest video. He basically travels the world on a budget, you know, so he ends up like going to places that are inexpensive, staying in places that are inexpensive, and gets to know the people. He doesn't like normally go to all the touristy stuff. Sometimes he does, but mostly he just goes off the beaten track and talks to people from the area that he's visiting and gets to know the area through the people. And I love his channel because he talks to some really amazing, sometimes not sane people, and it's fun to watch. But the video that he put out today was difficult to watch, at least it was for me. And the reason it was difficult is I had no idea. I can't believe I didn't have any idea. I feel stupid about this. But I had no idea how dramatic the impact was on all the Soviet states when the Soviet Union fell apart. I didn't realize how devastating that was to all those states that were bolstered by the Russian economy. I had no idea. Our media doesn't really cover that, you know. And you know, back when the Soviet Union fell, I was really young. It was 1992. I was in my early 20s. I wasn't really thinking so much about world politics as I do now. But you'd think I would have heard something about how these people were just completely devastated. Well, right now he's in Georgia, former Soviet Georgia, and he was talking to a group of people who basically got kicked out of the area that they were in, and had to go to another area, had to flee because ethnic cleansing was going on. So they fled into Georgia. They went over the mountains into Georgia, and you know, the Georgian government was a fledgling government to begin with because, for frick's sake, pissing me off already with this fucking thing. Excuse my language. I'll just hold it, piece of shit. Anyways, Rachel's temper. There, you got to see that. So anyways, these people ended up going to Georgia. They had to live. What is going on? What the hell? I can't. I just can't. I can't do this today. All right, I'm going to make this story really as short as I can. They go into Georgia. There's no place for them to really go. The economy can't help them in Georgia. They end up taking over these abandoned hotels and living in these abandoned hotels. The government of Georgia said, hey, we'll help you out, you know. Just hang in there and we'll try to get you into some housing, which never happened. 26 years later, these people, these refugees, are still living in these dilapidated hotels with no income, scrounging for food, scrounging to make money. And a lot of them are elderly now. A lot of them are elderly. And it's like, oh my gosh, why have I never heard this story before? This is awful. This is a horrible thing. And I was telling Rick this morning, I'm like, here we were like crazy celebrating the fall of the Soviet Union while all these people were dying and starving and freezing because the economy that at least kept them alive was gone. And a lot of these former Soviet states have never recovered. Never. They're all dilapidated. Their infrastructures are falling apart. Everything is going wrong. It makes me sad. I feel bad now. I feel bad. I do. I feel guilty. I feel guilty for wishing for communism to go away and wishing that these people could be free like we are, not realizing what the consequences of that was going to be. And maybe we need to take that into consideration before we go into any countries and try to liberate them from their current regime. I mean, what is going to be the impact that that's going to have on the average Joe person? Not on the government or their military, but what is it going to be like for their average Joe person, you know? Now, I know that we have gone into places and we've ended conflicts. We've stopped ethnic cleansing from completely coming to fruition in many different places. But we still got to be careful. We have to be careful about how we impact all these different economies with what we're doing. Maybe that's why Russia hates us so much. I don't know. But anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. This has been a completely disastrous video, Mr. Hug.
It's my fault.
It's not your fault. Why would it be your fault?
Because I have to know.
Oh, it is not your fault. Shut your mouth. Anyways, you guys have a great day. I love you. Mwah. Take care and bye-bye.